You guys seem to be enjoying my exotic concept videos, so today I decided to make 10 new exotic items. If you happen to enjoy this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing and using code WATSOG in the Fortnite item shop. Alright, let's get straight into the video. Alright, kicking us off we have the Lawless Gold Rush Juice. This is obviously an exotic version of Slurp Juice, and the Lawless Gold Rush Slurp Juice works identically to the legendary Slurp Juice. Also grants the Gold Rush effect after being used. The Lawless Gold Rush Juice has 3 uses, so this would probably be a really strong item. I feel like it would be either carrying this or the Slap Jug for what item you should probably, what healing item you should probably carry. I feel like this would be really powerful, but the 3 uses kind of limits it a little bit, because only one of these on the map and you can only use it 3 times. Whereas with the legendary Slurp Juice, there was a lot more than 3, so you could just replenish anytime you went low on them. So I feel like this would be a lot more balanced, even though it's just a better version because of the limitation on it. So especially since there wouldn't be any normal Slurp Juice, because there isn't normal Slurp Juice in the game right now. So this would be a good item in my opinion, but I don't think it would be too broken just because of there only being one on the map. Next we have the Lawless Slurp Grenade, another healing item. I promise this video is not going to be just healing items. There will be a few, but it's not just going to be healing items. This is an exotic version of the grenade, and when the Lawless Slurp Grenade explodes, it will heal everyone in its radius for 100 health or shield, prioritizing health like other Slurp items, and this item has infinite uses but has a 60-second cooldown. So if you've ever played Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2, I believe it is, you know that the scientist has this ability where he throws on like a heal bomb and it just heals like all his teammates. This would basically be that item, but it would heal everyone, not just you, so you'd have to make sure only you and your team is in the radius, which shouldn't be too hard. You know, if you're just in a box, boom, everyone's healed up. Infinite uses makes this a good healing item. I don't know if it would be like the best, just because the other ones don't have to worry about cooldown, but this one has infinite uses, so maybe. But you could only use one before you like have to, you know, have cooldown, and also the charge up time of the grenade. So I feel like this might be a situational healing item, but it would still probably be good. Like if you carry this, like you're still gonna be able to like work with it, you know. I think it'd be a solid item, you know, but I don't know how crazy it would be, you know. All right, I did say there wasn't going to be any more healing items. Well, I didn't say that, but I said it's not going to be healing items, and this is the first non-healing item of the video. This is the Lawless Homing Clinger. So the Lawless Homing Clinger is obviously an exotic version of the Clinger, and it will lock onto the opponent it's thrown at. However, it only deals 60 damage to account for the auto aim, and it only has 5 uses. So basically, you pick it out of one of the black markets, you get 5 of these, and once you use them all, you're out, you're done for. So, you know, it's solid. You know, the auto aim is obviously gonna be a bit broken. Obviously, it has reduced damage to like account for that, because if you could auto aim and it was already dealing with 100 damage, that's a bit broken. But 60 damage feels a bit more balanced, since you need to throw 4, I believe, in order to kill someone. 5, I believe, in 0 build to kill someone. So basically, to kill one person, you have to use all 5 of these in 0 build. So it's a bit broken, but it's not like overpowered, you know, because the less damage balances a little bit more. So I feel like it's a solid item. I don't feel like it's the best item I'm going to show you in this video, but not bad. If you use this, you could definitely get away with it, you know. Maybe get like a kill, like 1 kill or 2, but it's not going to be like a defining weapon in your loadout, you know. All right, this might be the weirdest item in this video, but this is the Lawless Thermal Keg. This is an exotic version of the Shield Keg, obviously, as you can tell, and the Lawless Thermal Keg works just like its regular counterpart. However, it lasts for twice as long and grants thermal vision to anyone in its radius. And the thermal vision would resemble the thermal sight of the Midas Gilded Eye drum gun. The Lawless Thermal Keg also has 2 uses, so you throw down 2 times and then it's done. So basically, the normal Shield Keg heals 150 shield. This one would heal 300, and you get the thermal vision. And the thermal sight on the Gilded Eye drum gun is really good. I like the gold kind of aesthetic to it, so I thought this would be a good way to have the thermal vision look, you know. And plus, it makes sense. It's like a Lawless. It's got like the gold outline, you know. It looks like that would be the kind of thermal vision it would get off. So the thermal vision might not be the reason people carry this item. It might just be like the 300 shield, but you know, I still think it'd be a solid item. And you know, thermal vision is like a nice little bonus. Obviously, an exotic has to have a little bit of a twist on it, so you know, it could be solid, but I don't know how good it would actually be in terms of like utility. Healing, it would definitely be pretty solid, especially in like team modes. Pretty good, but I don't know if you want to waste a dilbit on it though. That's the only thing. Alright, this one might be a little bit broken. This is the Lawless Gravity Boombox. This is obviously an exotic version of the Boombox. Guaranteed like 90% of you forgot that the Boombox was even an item in this game. But the Lawless Gravity Boombox acts just like its normal counterpart. However, it will also create a low gravity bubble in its radius. So basically, in its radius, it'll destroy all the builds like normal, and then the low gravity effect will also happen, so everyone's like jumping around. It's kind of crazy, you know. It would probably be good because the boombox was a pretty solid item, but I just don't know if the low gravity effect will be that useful. I think it'd be fun, you know. Maybe if you throw this down, you know, you save yourself from fall damage. Maybe could be an interesting way to use this item. But you know, I don't know how effective the low gravity would be. I feel like it's a bit situational, but you know, it's fun. It's a nice little gimmick on this item, and yeah, I just think it'd be really solid. You know, just a nice little gimmick to a pretty strong item already. You know. Pretty fun. Alright, we have another healing item. We have the Lawless Spicy Smoke Grenade. This is an exotic version of the Medmist Smoke Grenade, and the Lawless Spicy Smoke Grenade acts really similarly to its normal counterpart. However, it also heals shields and grants the spicy pepper effect while in the smoke. So basically, the normal Medmist Smoke Grenade only heals white health, but this would also heal shield, similar to like a slurp juice, how it heals both white and blue health and shield, I should say. So, it would be pretty good for that. And the spicy pepper effect just makes you more versatile in the smoke. I feel like it would last for like a few seconds afterwards, but it wouldn't be too much, you know? Just like a nice way to be more versatile, so if someone's in the smoke with you, it's a bit harder to hit you, you know? Just basically a better version of the Medmist Smoke Grenade in every way possible, you know? I just think it would be a good addition, you know? Just think it would be a fun item. Nothing too crazy, but it could definitely be useful. The healing might be the best part of it, though. I feel like a lot of these healing items, the healing is like what you want from it. The secondary effect's just there. Like, it's like, it could help you, but it's also not why you're going for the item. Most of these healing items are very situational in terms of their utility. The healing is really good on them, but the utility side of it depends on what situation you're in, you know? I don't feel like that applies to this next healing item, though. This is the Lawless Slap Spray. This is obviously an exotic version of the Medmist, and the Lawless Slap Spray acts similarly to its normal counterpart. However, it also heals shields as well, just like the Smoke Grenade, you know, as a shield as well. And it also grants the user the slap effect, sort of like the Slap Jug and the Slap Cannon, you know. Slap effect heals you, and the Lawless Slap Spray also has 500 uses, so the normal Medmist has 150, and this one would have 500, so you'd get a lot more health out of it, you know? I feel like this is like a better version of the Slap Jug, almost, because it's got the same effect and it has more uses. It does take longer to heal, I believe, because obviously the Slap Jug heals in ticks of 10, and this heals in ticks of 5, but it also has more health, 100 more health to be specific. So, I feel like, you know, it's really just a bit debatable. Like, yes, it has more, but it also takes longer to get that health off. So if you're in like a really tight situation, you might want to go with the Slap Jug. But this one's not bad either. Also, it's an exotic, so it might not spawn every game because that's how they work right now because they're randomized. So it'll just kind of depend on what you get in your game. But I feel like this could be a solid item, you know? Basically the Slap Jug, but with a little bit of a trade-off, you know? So, be pretty good in my opinion. Alright, this is a really unique exotic in my opinion. This is the Lawless Slow-Mo Scanner. This is an exotic version of the Pulse Scanner, and the Lawless Slow-Mo Scanner works similarly to its normal counterpart. However, every player in AI in its radius also has their movement speed, pickaxe swing speed, and build speed halved. So basically what that means is it's basically puts everyone in slow-mo in the radius. So not only do you get a scan of everyone in that radius so you know where they are, they're slowed. I also want to mention this does also apply to you, so if you're on the radius, you will be slow, but everyone else will be too, so, you know, and plus you have the mark, so you have like a bit of an advantage. I feel like this would be really good if you like throw this down into like a crowded area and you're not in the radius and everyone's slowed, their build speed's slow, so you just like spray in at them, and like they can't really do much about it because, you know, they don't have really effective turbo building because speed's slow. So you could just spray them down and get a few easy kills. It'd be fun. But yeah, I feel like this would be a really unique item, and I believe that this is also based off of a unreleased item like way back in the day. There was like an unreleased like slow-mo bomb like thing. You would throw it down and then you like it was either that you throw it down or you consume it. It would put you in slow-mo. I don't know how useful that would be, but you know, who knows? I feel like this would be a very useful item because of the recon ability paired with the slow-mo, so it's really effective. I think the utility on this item is top tier, in my opinion. Now, this one is a bit of a gimmicky item, but I feel like it's fun. This is the Lawless Port of Mystery. So I'm guessing you can get what the gimmick here is. This is an exotic version of the Portafort, and when you throw the Lawless Port of Mystery, it will spawn a random build between either the Portafort, Portafortress, or the Portabunker. So basically, this is basically like Portafort roulette. Which Portafort you get? I deliberately decided to not include the Portacover because the Portacover is kind of, I'm not gonna lie, I'm sorry, I swore, I know, crazy, but it's not good. It's not that good, especially when the Portabunker is still in the game. I don't believe the Portabunker is in builds, but it's in 0 builds, and there's no reason to use a Portacover in builds mode anyway, so you're not really picking it up there. And the Portabunkers are so much better than the Portacover. Honestly, I don't know, like, the rarity on them don't make sense to me, because the Portabunkers are green, an uncommon item, but the Portacover is a rare item, and I was like, that doesn't make sense, especially when the Portabunker is so much better in every way. I feel like the Portacover should be a common, but who cares about that right now. This item probably won't be the most useful, because kind of want to know what you're placing down before you throw it. But, you know, it might be fun. Might be a good way to get some, like, clips, good content item, you know? And, yeah. Also, I just want to mention, I haven't been mentioning the designs on these, but I really like the design on this one. It's got, like, the question mark. I feel like I did a good job on this one, in my opinion. I'm just saying, you know, I think it was pretty good. Alright, and this is the last item of the video. This is the Lawless Zero Splashes. This is an exotic version of the Slap Splashes, and the Lawless Zero Slap Splashes work just like their regular counterpart, granting 15 health or shield and the slap effect. However, they also grant the 0-point dash effect for a few seconds after being hit with one. So, you know that effect where you can, like, dash, like, after you, like, using, like, the exotic pump and dump, or the exotic twin mag, or kind of like the Cerberus medallion dashes, or the Godzilla dashes? That's what this would give you after you use it. So I feel like this would be pretty good for rotation, especially when you could sprint with the slap effect while also dashing, because I feel like when you're dashing and sprinting at the same time, it's really good mobility. So I feel like this would be a pretty strong item. Healing might not be the reason people take this one. All the other healing items in this video, like the healing was the main reason because it's like basically double, but this one's just a normal slap splash with the 0-point dash effect. So I feel like the 0-point dash effect is why people take this. So this is more of like a utility item than the other healing items, you know? The utility effect is like the main purpose. It's not just like a little gimmick added on just because, you know? So I feel like this one could be a bit fun, you know? Seems pretty good. Alright, if you guys enjoyed that video, consider leaving a like and subscribing and using code WATSOG in the Fortnite item shop. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Later.